Hello, I'm Alex Jones. I'm a syndicated radio and television host based in Austin, Texas, and I support the Constitution and Bill of Rights if you're a new viewer out there. And I just wanted to add a historical addendum to our Demand a Real Plan video that has gone viral in just a few short hours. A lot of people are watching the video and they understand some of it, but they don't know the history of false flag events where governments let foreign enemies or criminal groups or terrorists attack as a pretext to take the general public's rights and liberties. And a great example of this is the Gulf of Tonkin in 1964, which has been declassified to have never have happened. Our ships were never attacked. And LBJ and Defense Secretary Robert McNamara used it as the pretext to officially launch the war in Vietnam that killed 58,000 Americans, wounded more than 300,000, and killed more than 1.5 million Vietnamese. And that was a criminal war and was wrong and was orchestrated by criminal elements in our government. It doesn't mean the communist Vietnamese were good folks either. The war was based on a fraud and was over opium, just like the invasion of Afghanistan has been about opium. And that's just one example of a false flag staged event. If you're a new viewer, aren't familiar with false flag, look it up. Now, moving along, some people watching it said, hey, why don't you talk about atrocities by the United States? We actually do talk about colonization killing tens of millions. And so that's there as well. The problem is a lot of the atrocities committed by the United States happened before good record keeping. And so it's very important to understand that the 290+ million killed by governments who were not even military combatants, the democide studies by different universities estimate between 270 and 300+ million. So we just go with the number 290+ million from one university study were killed, were non-military combatants. It was a couple 100 million more if you count armies killing each other. And it's interesting to note, more people have died in the 20th century from non-military deaths by government, rounding them up, shooting them, putting them in camps, than two armies facing off against each other. Governments also generally kill their own people. They kill more of their own people than they kill neighboring populations. And these are all well-established numbers. When we talk about the communist Chinese killing 70+ million, some estimates by the Chinese government themselves are at 84 million. So the point is, this whole breakdown is really conservative. We could have had the numbers much, much larger. And it was Stalin that said that one man's death is a tragedy, 10,000 is a statistic. And so they can use Sandy Hook, 20 poor little children that were killed, as a way to take our Second Amendment, while our government killed over 1 million Iraqis, according to the Lancet study, in just the first 7 years of the Iraq occupation. 1 million people died from military attacks or from things associated with it from the Iraq takeover. So there's 1 million added to the democide number that isn't even in the official university studies. You see, the university studies we have out of Hawaii, out of Illinois, out of London, they don't count Western kill numbers from the British Empire or from the United States. So that's why we didn't put them in here. We went with university studies that we're going to link below right here in this video. And we also have articles on Infowars.com breaking it down. So there's no denial. These are established, admitted numbers. And the fact is, governments everywhere are the #1 threat in history. 290+ million on record killed by governments in the 20th century alone. And there haven't been a lot of new numbers compiled since the 90s, so the numbers were actually higher in the 20th century. And again, since then, now the United States, run by a lot of corporate criminals and globalists, is engaging in all sorts of atrocities around the world. State Department Memorandum 200, put out by Henry Kissinger in '73, declassified in '92. You can look at it in the National Archives online. State Department Memorandum 200, look it up, said they'd use food and war and famine as a tool to kill people by starvation. And an estimated 30 million people a year, half of them children, die from starvation. So those numbers aren't included here from UN food programs using food as a weapon, where the UN actually starves people to death while having PR campaigns to raise money where they say they're going to feed people and they actually kill them. Look it up. So again, yes, our peace, people are saying, it's worse than you say. You're right, it is. This is a shadow of what's really going on. But we went with what is admitted and confirmed even by the establishment. 290 plus million killed in the 20th century. We're now 13 years into the 21st century, and globalists are warming up to make the last century look like a cakewalk. That's why we're here, engaged in demand in a real plan. We are demanding a real plan. And you say, well, what are the solutions? Call Congress, call talk radio, get a buzz going, file lawsuits against corrupt government. Never give up your guns. Demand an end of all these unconstitutional wars and illegal drone attacks in all these countries that violate international law, our own law, Geneva Convention. Bring back due process, the Constitution, the Republic. Don't submit to tyrannical government. Police tell you can't film them in public, get in their face about it, even if they arrest you. Defend the First Amendment. Realize that we are under tyranny more and more every day, and develop a healthy distrust of big government that our founders and every other intelligent philosopher and historian throughout history has warned you to not trust government. Get back to common sense and get local government taken over by good people, not foreign globalists. So that's the addendum to demand a real plan. And I think that all of you on YouTube and all of you watching this first on PrisonPlanet.tv and our nightly news, you should all go and produce your own Demand a Real Plan videos. In fact, I'm announcing here that we're going to have a new contest in the next month. It'll run for a month for $5,000 paid to the winner. I will judge it for whoever puts out the best Demand a Real Plan. And tomorrow on my syndicated radio show, I'm going to announce a $100,000 prize video. Why am I doing this? To get the word out, to empower you. We had a listener, because on his YouTube site, he says he's a listener, put out a video earlier this week, or actually last week, that's had millions of views, where they took the Demand a Plan Bloomberg Hollywood star thing, saying, you know, guns are evil, ban them, and edited in from movies every Hollywood star engaging in indiscriminate killing in movies that gives guns a bad name. And that thing's been seen by millions of people. See, that's why I do these contests, is to get you to go out and make new videos, or to inspire our listeners to not just say, hey, Alex, make a video about this. You go out and make the video. And if you don't know how, find a neighbor who knows how. It's not that hard. Engage the globalists. If we move against them, nothing can stop us. So, $5,000 prize. I'll be giving the details tomorrow. On a Demand a Real Plan where you can win. We've had dozens of contests we've paid out on, some cases up to $15,000, and I'm going to announce a $100,000 contest. It's, the details will be given tomorrow on the syndicated radio show, 11 a.m. Central, 12 noon Eastern, Infowars.com, and video streaming at PrisonPlanet.tv. Demand a real plan. My plan is 1776 worldwide. My plan is awaken the sleeping giant. My plan is to put the truth out and to inspire you to stand up and take action. That's the plan. That's the solution. You are the solution. If you're watching this transmission, you are the resistance.